Another story we're going to deal with is earlier this week I told you about the 15-year-old teenager who was shot while doing her homework in her family's house. Well, she is blasting Mayor Adams over the gun violence and the teenager who was shot in the leg while she was doing her English homework at the St. Albans home says that the mayor's handling, and this is a 15-year-old child, right? But this is a very gifted 15-year-old child. I'll explain that in just a second. Says that the mayor's handling of crime is laughable. To show you how warped things are in society these days, this teenager, by the way, she's a student at the Bronx High School of Science, one of the top 3 high schools academically to get into in New York City. Brooklyn Tech, Stuyvesant, Bronx High School of Science. She's a student at the Bronx High School of Science. And what does she plan to write her college essay about? Gun violence from a first-person perspective. She plans to study a STEM-related field at Columbia University, and she plans to figure out how to use her horrifying experience to affect change. And while all this is going on, you're not going to believe this, folks, but this week on Wednesday, Mayor Adams partied into the wee hours. We know he likes to have a good time, nightside mayor. But he was with the stars: Jennifer Lopez, rapper French Montana, Ryan Seacrest. This was all for Jennifer Lopez's new movie, Halftime. And the mayor, who had testified during the day in Washington, had just got back to New York after midnight and was at this party. And so, it's great if New York has a mayor by day, a mayor by night. It's wonderful. But these are not normal times. The city is in crisis. The mayor's time, and obviously he differs with me, the mayor's time would be better spent focusing on the gun violence. Let's start with your telephone calls. Again, 800-848-WABC, 800-848-9222. Michael in New Jersey, good morning and welcome to the Dominic Carter Show.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The beginning of the hearing, when that idiot, that moron, that imbecile, Benny Thompson, started with, "This brings me back memories of slavery and the Ku Klux Klan." What the hell are you talking about? What has this got to do with slavery and the Ku Klux Klan? Are you out of your mind? You're trying to say that this is racist? They had a group there called the Proud Boys. That's a racist group. It was started by a dark-skinned Dominican guy who is very patriotic. This is about racism, about the Klan. I hate to say this, but this guy, this Benny Thompson, together with Stan, are actually embarrassments to their own race. He's an embarrassment to black people, and this moron, this idiot Stan that I just heard on Rita Cosby's show is an embarrassment to white people. Both of them are total morons. I mean, what? I don't know. How could you say something like that? The whole thing was a farce. It's a joke. And the next time they meet, it'll be the same thing over and over. Trump is this, Trump is that. It's all Trump's fault. And the people are supposed to listen to this and then vote in a Democrat? These people are in fantasy land.
Michael,
they're handing the next election to the Republicans, and God bless them for it.
Michael, I thank you for your telephone call. What it reminds me of is that commercial with the elderly woman, and this is going back many years, a Wendy's commercial, and the punchline to the commercial was, "Where's the beef?" And I am speaking objectively. I am not putting a partisan spin. But if this was really a television production, the first thing they would have said was, Mr. Chair, maybe we need to cut you down to a 1-minute opening statement, and let's get Liz Cheney in there a lot sooner. Mr. Chair, you're going to lose half of America if you go on for 15 minutes. So you keep telling us, here's the equivalent of what happened at this first hearing. This is the best equivalent, the best way I can explain this. I am going to hit a grand slam. I am going to hit a grand slam. Okay, Mr. Carter, when are you going to hit a grand slam? I am going to hit a grand slam. Okay, Mr. Carter, when? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So what I heard was regurgitated points of view. Trump is bad. Trump manipulated the situation. Trump is behind the violence on January 6th. That's what I heard, which is nothing new. And at some point, where's the proof to back up what you're saying? And if this is supposed to be a television production, I guarantee you the networks won't all be live except for Fox next time, because they lost money tonight or last night, however you want to look at it now to this morning time. For the chair, I just could not believe what I was looking at. For the chair from Mississippi, we've America doesn't know who this guy is. And with this drawl that goes on forever, and I'm not making fun of him, but back in 1945 when the Klan and it's like, huh? You say Trump is awful, so show it to me. Let's go to Solomon in Toronto. Good morning, Solomon. You're on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Good morning, Dominic.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that Trump is, people created boogeyman. It seems like Trump is the boogeyman, and then they try to catch him, but then they fail, and now they're in tunnel vision. It seems like they're in tunnel vision, and there's nothing you can do to get through to them.
Right. Well, if you say you got the goods, you promised us you got the goods. What I saw tonight, again, and I have no skin in the game. What I saw tonight was a waste of time, frankly. The video was compelling, even though we've seen parts of it. No one wants to see police officers injured. The Justice Department, and thank you, Solomon, for calling in from Toronto. The Justice Department has been handling all of these investigations and prosecutions. And so it was just a very, very interesting. Let's go to Tom. Tom in the Bronx, I believe, on Mayor Adams. Good morning, Tom. Welcome to Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Hey, Dominic. Look, I just want to say two things. I'm not unique. I don't believe what I hear. I believe what I see. And if that video on January 6th wasn't enough, there's no verbal explanation for that. And one more thing I want to say, why do we have a police commissioner that the mayor is getting all of the blame? Why do we have a police commissioner?
Okay, so wait a minute, Tom. Let's go back for a second. You still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you said the video basically says it all for you. Are you talking about the original videos or the video that was played at this first hearing?
I'm talking, you can take the video that's played on TV. That was enough. Besides the extra stuff that they found out that wasn't broadcasted.
And now I agree with you. The actions of some at that rally was despicable. There's no way of explaining that. But, I mean, you just can't say, oh, Trump is behind it. You got to prove it.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it, but nobody proved that Trump isn't. Okay, so that's just an issue of our of what we think. Okay, go ahead.
And you also said the mayor, and what you said, why is the mayor taking all the heat and not the police commissioner? Well, here's why, Tom. The mayor appoints whatever police commissioner that he wants to appoint. Mayor Adams decided to go with this police commissioner, the first woman police commissioner, and her gender has nothing to do with it. And frankly, I think that she's doing a decent job. But when you're the mayor of New York City, the buck stops with you, period. Being with Jennifer Lopez and French Montana and Ryan Seacrest, I think it would be more better use of his time for the mayor to be seen at a late night photo op, visiting roll calls at police stations, riding the subway in the middle of the night. I just don't think, Tom, but I hear you and I thank you for the call. I just don't think it's appropriate for what the city is dealing with for the mayor to be hobnobbing with French Montana and Jennifer Lopez.